If you've ever thought you're stuck with the health issues you inherited from your parents, this video is going to open your eyes. You are about to discover how your everyday habits can become your most powerful tool for a vibrant life after 40. These habits, what you eat, how you sleep, even how you think, can actually change how your genes behave. This is not science fiction, it is the groundbreaking science of epigenetics. This field holds the secret to helping you age with grace and vitality, taking control of your biological story. Epigenetics reveals that you are the primary architect of your long-term health, not a passive victim of your ancestry. Stick with us to the end for bonus tips that could help you activate your body's natural healing codes. Here is the fundamental truth. You were born with a fixed set of genes, but those genes do not dictate your destiny. Your DNA is the blueprint, but your lifestyle choices are the construction crew that builds the final structure. Epigenetics is the study of how gene expression can be turned on or off based on lifestyle and environmental factors. Think of your DNA as the vast and detailed script of a play, containing every possible line and scene. Your daily choices, your diet, your exercise, your stress levels, act as the director of that play. The director decides which lines are spoken loudly and which are left out of the performance entirely. This profound concept means that even if you carry bad genes for conditions like heart disease or diabetes, you can influence them. You have the power to direct your lifestyle in a way that keeps those genetic predispositions silent and unexpressed. The bad genes may stay in the script, but they never have to make it to the stage if your epigenetic switches are managed well. The problem is, many of us over 40 resign ourselves to what we believe is a genetic fate. We say things like, "It just runs in the family," accepting it as an unchangeable fact. We accept joint pain, brain fog, and weight gain as inevitable consequences of the genetic lottery. But modern research paints a very different and much more hopeful picture for us. Scientific studies now suggest that up to 80% of chronic health conditions are not driven by the genes themselves. Instead, they are driven by how your genes are expressed in response to the life you lead. For instance, landmark studies on identical twins have provided undeniable proof of this concept. These studies show wildly different health outcomes, despite the twins sharing the exact same DNA sequence from birth. One twin might develop an autoimmune disease, while the other remains perfectly healthy. The difference was not in their genes, but in their unique epigenetic triggers from their diet, stress, and environment. Their distinct lifestyles sculpted two completely different health destinies from the very same genetic code. Now here's the solution you can start applying today. Begin treating your habits as powerful tools to program your biology. You can consciously and deliberately send signals to your genesto, promote health and longevity every single day. Regular physical activity, for example, can increase the expression of genes tied to fat metabolism and mitochondrial health. Exercise also famously boosts the BDNF gene, which acts like fertilizer for your brain cells, supporting memory and learning. Eating more cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale activates detoxification pathways that help your body clear out harmful compounds. And actively reducing your stress through meditation or time in nature helps silence the genes involved in chronic inflammation. The result of these conscious choices is nothing short of transformative for your well-being. People who implement these epigenetic principles after age 40 often experience a profound and noticeable renewal. They report improved energy levels, clearer thinking, healthier and more stable weight, and even measurable reductions in their biological age. You are not just preventing future illness, you are actively building a more youthful and resilient version of yourself today. Epigenetic triggers you use daily without realizing. Imagine if your morning coffee, your commute playlist, or even your phone notifications were secretly rewriting your genetic code. This is not an exaggeration. It is the subtle, pervasive power of epigenetics at work in your daily life. Every single day, you are unknowingly flipping thousands of microscopic switches within your DNA. These switches can either help you thrive and build resilience, or quietly set you up for chronic disease down the road. The most empowering part is this. Once you understand these triggers, you can consciously use them to take back control of your aging process. You can stop being a passive passenger and start being the pilot of your own biology. This awareness transforms daily routines into powerful opportunities for health optimization. Let's start with the most common and powerful epigenetic influencer of all, the food you eat. The saying, "You are what you eat," is literally true at the genetic level, as food provides information to your cells. Certain foods contain bioactive molecules that can bind to your DNA and directly influence which genes get expressed. For example, the compound sulforaphane, found abundantly in broccoli and Brussels sprouts, is a powerful activator of tumor-suppressing genes. It also fires up the Nref2 pathway, your body's master antioxidant and detoxification switch. Resveratrol from grapes and curcumin from turmeric similarly instruct your genes to fight chronic inflammation. Meanwhile, a diet high in excessive sugar and processed carbohydrates does the exact opposite. It not only fuels system-wide inflammation, but also downregulates genes that protect your cells against oxidative stress. This process effectively accelerates the biological aging of your body. Every single meal is an opportunity to send your genes either a message of healing or a message of harm. Next, let's talk about the pervasive influence of stress on your genetic software. Chronic stress from work deadlines or financial worries leads to the constant activation of the hormone cortisol. Over time, this elevated cortisol can epigenetically silence critical genes responsible for a robust immune system and cellular repair. It is like living with a blaring emergency alarm that never shuts off, eventually wearing down the entire system. Your body diverts precious resources to handle the perceived threat, leaving less for long-term health maintenance. Fortunately, you can reverse this trend with simple, accessible techniques that signal safety to your body. Practices like meditation, deep breathing exercises, and yoga can significantly lower cortisol levels. This allows your body to reset healthy gene expression patterns, which is especially important for people over 40. This demographic often juggles the immense pressures of career, aging parents, and personal health concerns. Sleep is another profoundly powerful epigenetic regulator that is too often neglected. Poor or insufficient sleep disrupts your body's master circadian genes, such as clock and BMAL1. These genes manage countless vital processes, including hormone balance, detoxification schedules, and metabolic efficiency. When you stay up late scrolling on your phone, the blue light emitted from the screen suppresses melatonin production. This not only hinders sleep, but also robs your body of a potent antioxidant that directly protects your DNA. You are telling your genes to behave chaotically and inefficiently the following day. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of restful, consistent sleep each night to support your body's critical overnight repair cycle. Finally, physical movement sends some of the clearest and most beneficial signals to your DNA. Even a brisk 30-minute walk activates genes tied to improved insulin sensitivity, reducing your risk of type 2 diabetes. Regular exercise tells your genes to build stronger muscles, denser bones, and more efficient mitochondria. Conversely, a sedentary lifestyle allows epigenetic patterns that promote chronic inflammation to take hold. The takeaway here is simple yet profound. Your everyday choices are actively writing your body's internal code. Once you understand these powerful patterns, you no longer have to be a victim of your genetic inheritance. You become the conscious editor of your own biological future. Keep watching. Next, we explore whether it's really possible to reverse past genetic damage. Can you really reverse genetic damage after 40? By the time we hit our 40s and 50s, many of us start noticing small, unwelcome declines in our health. Our energy levels dip, our metabolism seems to slow down, and our memory isn't quite as sharp as it used to be. We often shrug and assume it's just our genetics finally catching up to us, an inevitable part of getting older. But what if that accumulated damage is not permanently etched into our biology? What if the consequences of past choices are not a life sentence, but a temporary state that can be improved? The most exciting promise of epigenetics is that you can begin to reverse this decline starting today. This science offers a message of profound hope for anyone who feels it might be too late to make a change. Epigenetics has revealed something truly incredible about our biology. Gene expression is remarkably dynamic, not fixed in stone. This means that the epigenetic marks, the chemical tags on your DNA, left by past behaviors do not have to define your future health. Whether it was a decade of poor sleep or years of a processed food diet, you are not permanently broken. Your body has an astonishing capacity for healing and renewal, responding remarkably fast to positive change. Think of your epigenome not as a carving in stone, but as pencil marks on a piece of paper that can be erased and redrawn. Your past does not have to be your prologue when it comes to your biological health. This dynamic nature is why lifestyle changes are so powerful. The body is always listening and ready to adapt to the new instructions you give it. These instructions directly influence epigenetic markers, like DNA methylation, which can act like a dimmer switch on a gene. They also affect histone modification, which controls how tightly your DNA is wound, making genes more or less accessible. These processes are happening constantly and can be changed for the better with the right inputs. One of the most powerful tools for actively reversing epigenetic damage is intermittent fasting. Even a simple time-restricted eating schedule, like consuming meals within an 8-hour window, can work wonders. This period of digestive rest triggers genes responsible for a process called autophagy. Autophagy is your body's internal cleaning and recycling system, where it breaks down old, damaged cellular components. It is a profound state of cellular repair that can clear out the gunk that contributes to aging and disease. Exercise, particularly a combination of resistance training and cardio, also activates powerful genetic pathways for renewal. It activates genes tied to mitochondrial repair, muscle regeneration, and the production of powerful antioxidant enzymes. These actions directly combat the aging process at a cellular level. But here is the challenge that trips many people up. Consistency matters far more than intensity. You do not need to run marathons or engage in punishing workouts to see benefits. You need small, sustainable, repeatable actions that consistently train your genes to express themselves in a more youthful way. A daily 20-minute walk is far more powerful than a single grueling 2-hour gym session once a month. It is also critical to avoid the epigenetic blockers that silently sabotage your best efforts. Heavy alcohol use, chronic lack of restorative sleep, and prolonged feelings of loneliness can all downregulate protective genes. Environmental toxins in plastics, pesticides, and cleaning products are also silent saboteurs we often overlook. Removing these blockers is just as important as adding positive habits for true lasting change. Still wondering what the true limits of gene rewriting really are? In the next section, we will explore how to tell the real science apart from the misleading hype. Join our community and never miss out on new content. Subscribe today. The Truth versus Hype: How to Use Epigenetics Safely. Epigenetics has exploded into one of the most buzzed about words in the health and wellness world today. It is a field full of incredible promise, but also one that is increasingly full of hype and misinformation. You will see it on everything from supplements claiming to reset your genes to expensive DNA tests promising personalized longevity plans. It is very easy to get swept up in the excitement of biohacking your DNA for a longer, healthier life. But if you are over 40, you need a discerning eye to know what is real science, what is risky marketing, and what truly works. Navigating this landscape safely is key to achieving genuine results without wasting your money or harming your health. Here is the core problem. While the science of gene expression is sound, it has also been oversimplified and twisted by marketing. Companies aggressively push pills and powders that supposedly optimize methylation or cleanse your gene pathways. Yet, very few of these products are backed by rigorous independent human studies that prove their claims. The marketing often relies on cherry-picked data from cell or animal studies that may not translate to complex human biology. Even worse, blindly taking certain supplements can be dangerous, disrupting the very balance you are trying to achieve. The concept of overmethylation is a perfect example of how more is not always better in biochemistry. Adding too many methyl groups to your DNA through high-dose supplements can actually silence important protective genes, like tumor suppressors. You could inadvertently turn off a gene that your body needs to stay healthy. One common example is folate, a B vitamin often marketed as a crucial gene-hacking nutrient. While folate is essential for healthy DNA repair, taking too much synthetic folic acid can disrupt this delicate natural balance. This is especially true for the many people with common MTHFR gene mutations who have trouble processing it. For them, high doses can lead to an accumulation of unmetabolized folic acid, which can cause its own set of problems. This illustrates why self-medicating with high-dose supplements can seriously backfire without proper testing and professional guidance. Your unique biochemistry determines your needs, and a one-size-fits-all approach is often flawed. So, what is the safe and effective solution for someone over 40? You must focus on the proven, foundational lifestyle interventions first, before ever considering expensive supplements or gadgets. These foundational pillars include a diet rich in anti-inflammatory whole foods, regular movement, stress reduction, and high-quality sleep. These factors influence your gene expression through thousands of safe, natural, and synergistic biochemical signals. Food provides a complex symphony of nutrients that work together in ways a single pill cannot replicate. Sleep in particular remains the most underrated, powerful, and free epigenetic tool you have. During the deep stages of rest, your brain activates its glymphatic cleansing system to remove metabolic waste. Your body resets crucial hormonal rhythms and carries out the bulk of its DNA repair work. This is not just passive rest. It is essential programming and maintenance time for your genes. You can enhance this process by aiming for the same sleep window nightly and dimming screens at least an hour before bed. Please, do not fall into the alluring trap of expensive epigenetic biohacking fads before you have mastered the basics. Things like cold plunges, infrared saunas, or NAD+ boosters can have supplemental benefits for some, but they should never ever replace the non-negotiable foundational habits of good living. They are the 1%ers, the icing on the cake, not the cake itself. Your body's operating system needs consistent daily care for more than it needs extreme, intermittent interventions. Love this video? You'll enjoy what's linked in the description too. Don't miss out. In short, aging gracefully is not about buying the latest gadget or the most expensive supplement. It is about mastering the small, daily choices that quietly train your genes to perform at their best. And in our final section, we will give you a practical blueprint to start rewriting your health story. Rewrite your future starting today. If there is one single powerful takeaway from everything we have explored, it is this: your genes are not your fate. They are far more like a complex and beautiful musical score containing the potential for countless different melodies. You, through your daily choices, are the conductor of that magnificent orchestra. At any age, but especially after 40, you have the profound power to guide which melodies your body plays. You can choose to conduct a symphony of vitality and health, or a dirge of chronic inflammation and disease. This incredible transformation begins with the smallest, most intentional choices you make every single day. This is where the science becomes your personal plan for a better future. Let's turn all of this incredible science into immediate, practical action. What can you start doing today to improve your gene expression and build a healthier future? First, and most importantly, clean up your diet by focusing on whole, unprocessed foods. Aim to eat a rainbow of colorful plant foods every day, as their pigments are potent epigenetic modulators. Blueberries, spinach, red cabbage, beets, and turmeric contain powerful flavonoids and polyphenols that activate protective genes. These compounds send signals to your DNA to reduce inflammation, boost antioxidant defenses, and support cellular repair. Simultaneously, you must actively avoid ultra-processed foods, which are a major source of epigenetic disruption. They often contain artificial preservatives and additives that can negatively alter your gut microbiome. A disrupted microbiome, in turn, sends inflammatory signals that can affect genetic expression throughout your body. Think of every meal as a direct and powerful communication with your genes. Second, commit to moving your body more in ways that you genuinely enjoy. Daily movement, even a brisk walk, gardening, or gentle stretching, activates genes involved in insulin sensitivity and brain function. Aim to incorporate resistance training 2 or 3 times per week to boost genes related to muscle repair and mitochondrial energy production. Building and maintaining muscle mass as you age is one of the most important things you can do for your metabolic health. This combination of cardio, strength, and flexibility sends a diverse array of positive signals to your DNA. Third, you must prioritize your mental and emotional well-being by actively reducing chronic stress. Find a daily practice that works for you, whether it is 5 minutes of deep breathing, gratitude journaling, or meditation. Spending time in nature has been shown to lower cortisol and improve immune function. Nurturing your social connections with friends and family is also a powerful epigenetic tool. Positive social interactions can trigger the release of oxytocin, which helps turn down genes involved in the stress response. Believe it or not, laughter, joy, and love are powerful genetic activators for a longer, healthier life. Fourth, make your sleep a sacred and non-negotiable part of your health routine. Deep, consistent rest is when your body and brain perform their most critical repair and maintenance tasks. This process supports your circadian genes, regulates melatonin production, and enables the DNA repair machinery to fix errors. To improve your sleep quality, use blackout curtains, keep your bedroom cool, and establish a consistent, relaxing bedtime routine. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. and shut down all screens at least an hour before you intend to sleep. Here is an extra practical tip. Start your day with a cup of green tea or matcha. These beverages are incredibly rich in a catechin called EGCG, a powerful antioxidant that influences genes related to detoxification. Just be sure not to add dairy milk, as its proteins can bind with these beneficial compounds and reduce their bioavailability. And a final word of caution. If you are considering targeted supplements like methyl donors, please test your levels first. Work with a qualified functional health practitioner who can guide you based on your specific needs. Epigenetic balance is incredibly delicate, and too much of a good thing can push the pendulum in the wrong direction. In the end, epigenetics is not about finding a magic bullet or achieving radical reinvention overnight. It is about the quiet, consistent, daily practice of sending the right messages to your genes. Through nourishing food, restorative rest, and joyful movement, you are programming your future self. Day by day, choice by choice, you are the one writing your own health story. Think you're eating healthy? These ultra-processed foods are aging you faster after 40. Discover fake healthy foods you must ditch after 40. Let's watch the next video here.